Good morning, Peninsula Grace family. Ross here with our daily reading plan devotional, and today we're in Psalm 119, verses 33 through 64. And I was struck as I read these verses how much the psalmist loves the Word of God. He's constantly telling his Creator in these verses that he delights in His words, delights in His commandments and instructions. And the question that keeps rattling around in my mind is this: do I love the words of God like the psalmist loves them? Is the word of God my delight, or is it my duty? Just look at how many times, just in our 31 verses, that we have reference to the psalmist loving the words of God. We see it in verses 35, verse 37, and verse 39, and then three times in 47 through 48. He says, I find my delight in your commandments, which I love. I will lift up my head toward your commandments, which I love. Then again, three more times in 49 through 52, his word gives hope, his word gives life, his word gives comfort. Now we must ask, why does the psalmist have this kind of love for the words of God? And then how can you and I get that kind of love? And the answer is this: his desire is fueled by desperation. And the same is true for us. Desperation fuels our desire. Look at the psalmist. He is assailed on all sides. He faces idolatry within himself, verse 37. He faces shame and disgrace from others, verse 39. The wicked and the insolent mock and deride him, verses 51 through 53. And the cords of the wicked ensnare him, verse 61. Now, if you're like me, you might be facing similar frustration, similar anxiety. Even just a change in our regular schedules can add stress. Not to mention the compressed nature of our family rhythms now, as we're under quarantine. Maybe there's uncertainty about the future or about employment. Have you acknowledged that stress, that anxiety, that desperation to the Lord? And then are you allowing that desperation to fuel your desire for His Word? The Word of God is a delight. It is a source of life, a source of comfort. So let's run thirsty and eagerly to the Word of God. Let's not run dutifully or begrudgingly. And when we do, when we don't have hearts that delight in His commandments, when we don't want to meditate on His Word, let's rehearse the truth of this psalm in our minds and over our hearts, asking God to change what we crave.